Amy Standridge. And I just saw her somewhere. Well, there she is. Guitar in hand, always. So Amy is the owner of Oak Song Music Therapy. She is a music therapist, board certified music therapist, with a choral degree from the University of Texas at Austin, and that's choral C-H-O-R-A, not like an underwater plant. That would be, if you could have a choral, yeah, she is working on another degree in oceanography. And she is also a certified humorologist, humor professional. Okay, I always say, I use humor as a defense, she uses it appropriately. She wields it as an offense. So, and she also runs Grace Notes Community Singers, which is a choir choral group open to those with neurodegenerative diseases and their care partners. And I will open it up, she's open to anybody. If you would like to join and support that, she would love to. It's sponsored by Meals on Wheels, so you can see Amy or the Meals on Wheels table next door. So I'm going to hand it off to you. You want the... Okay, you unpack, talk amongst yourselves, give you a topic. You use whatever you want. You want the clipboard or you want... Yeah.
Got to go over the appointment for next July, and it's not, it's just, so I told Barbara.
All right, well, while I get set up, I want you to know that I am not a comedian. That's not my purpose. I'm not here to make you laugh, although I will. My purpose here as a certified humor professional is to help you find your humor being and find the funny in your life. My presentation is Humor Helps Finding Levity in Times of Change and Challenge. Raise your hand if you are in that right now. I have to admit that I spent quite a bit of time preparing for this presentation this morning at 4:07 a.m. when I woke up. I'm coming to this material as both someone who's been educated on the use of humor for therapy, for therapeutic humor and applying to our lives, but also as a person who needs humor in her life as well. So, one of the songs, as Byron said, I'm the director of Grace Notes Community Singers, and I see some of our new singers over here. I won't make you do a solo, don't worry. But one of the songs that we sing is Roll Out the Barrel. There's 3 exciting call-out words in this song, and it's zing, boom, terrell. So what we're going to do in the count of 3, just to get everybody warmed up, we're going to say zing, boom. Right? What's a terrell? Does anybody know? Me neither. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Zing, boom, terrell. Pretty good, and I even heard a chuckle. That was good. Hey, Mark, where's the Zoom camera for the people who are online? Oh, hello. So people on Zoom, every time I ask people in person to say something or repeat something or sing with me, you can do that from home, or you can drop those ideas in the chat. So we're going to do that one more time. I want you online to load up Zing, Boom, Terrell into your chat, and on the count of 3, you press send, and it'll waterfall in. Okay, we're going to do that again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Zing, Boom, Terrell. One laugh. Very good. Okay. All right, so I really want to be able to connect with you after my presentation. So if you're anything like me, I say, sure, we'll catch up later, and we never do. So I'm going to give you an excuse right now to take out your phones during my presentation. If I can find mine in my pocket or my magic Mary Poppins purse, I'm going to do the same. If you are on Facebook, you can find me at, excuse me, Oak Song MT. So that's OAKSONGMT. So Facebook.com/OakSongMT. So that's Oak Song Music Therapy, as Byron mentioned. That's my company. If you are a professional caregiver, check me out on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is linkedin.com/IN/. Amy Standridge. There we go. Now we're connected. I can see people on their phones. I taught a class at Our Lady of the Lake University, where's Dianne, and the students always had their phone out, and I was never bold enough to say, you need to put your phones away. So today I'm being bold enough to say, you gotta take your phones out. Okay. All right, listen, I'm not calling anybody old here, but we are all getting older, and one of the privileges of getting older, let's see, there's lots of privileges. One of the stresses of getting older are all the doctor's appointments we find ourselves having to attend. So what you're gonna do now is, if you're with somebody who you came with, or if you have a table group, I want you to spend 1 minute writing down the names of every healthcare professional you can think of. And then we're gonna sing a song about it. All right, I'm gonna look for 1 minute. I'm not great at keeping time, ask Mark. But I'm gonna do it. And when I start singing the Jeopardy theme song, it means you're almost done. Go. Online, you can do these and type them in online and send them in the chat. There you go. These are like 99 cents at the party store. They're really fun to have fun with. You don't have to be able to sing to make it work. You just kind of have to talk in it. You have to hum in it. Kids like to blow in it. You can't, it doesn't work that way, but you hum. Into your kazoo there. All right. Okay, all right, so now I have a clicker up here, and I'm going to reveal my list of professionals. But somebody has to hear this right here. See how you did. This is not a test. All right. So I am going to sing a little song about getting older using all of these doctors' names. What I want you to do is, if you have been to one of these doctors, or you are one of these doctors, or medical professionals, I want you to stand up when it's called out. And stay standing. If you're not able to stand, just raise your hand and keep it raised. This is exercise time, all right?
When do we stand again?
Stand when you've either been to or are one of the medical professionals.
Okay.
Well, you didn't know. Well, hello, everybody. All right, hold on. You know, Texas allergies, so I have to clear my throat. Yes, stay standing. If you're an otolaryngologist, however you say that, sorry for clearing my voice, you're not supposed to do that. All right, here we go. It used to be a simple thing many years ago. A short appointment now and then when I'm feeling low. A poking there, a prodding there, mostly just routine. Visits to the doctor that were few and far between. Like a neurologist, a dermatologist, a podiatrist to send to a pharmacist, a phlebotomist, a radiologist, and acupuncturist, a nutritionist, psychiatrist, psychologist, cardiologist, gynecologist, wrote it. She's, of course, living with Parkinson's disease. She wrote this during the pandemic and put it online, like most of you, or like all of you in there. So I can't take credit for it. I did not write it. But humor and also music unites us. When we share it, our brains are flooded with all sorts of feel-good hormones that, I was going to say like optometrists, I got all the doctor's words in my head. All the feel-good hormones, oxytocin, we're bonding, we're getting together, we're learning more about each other. Serotonin, we're fun, we're laughing, we're increasing that. Dopamine, we're like something new is happening right now. And so for all of these reasons, humor is a wonderful tool to use in connection with others. And now I gotta get back here. All right, so when we laugh together, we bond together. Now, this bonding and laughter lasts long beyond when we just experience it. This will carry us through a while during the day. It's not just over, it's important. I do say to myself, humor is not a frivolity, it's an essential. It's essential for mental health, it's essential for well-being, it's essential for communication. When you're laughing with somebody, you don't stop laughing and then start arguing. It brings us together, it helps us find the things that we have in common. For example, all of the doctors that we have been to. Did I miss any on there? Did she miss any? Yes.
Speech language pathologist.
Yes, of course, and a music therapist. Speech language pathologist, what else I missed? Who else I missed? Chiropractor? Chiropractist? Endocrinologist, yes. Yes, I have one of those. A social workerologist, yes. There are people who call themselves jolly-tologists and humorologists. So let me tell you, oh yes, one more. Oh no, a biologist, a proctologist. Okay. That brings us to the end of the questions. So anyway, but thank you, Byron. Very good. So, raise your hand. We're going to do a little Likert scale with your hand. If you are very in tune with humor, if it's very important to you, and if you feel like you use it a lot and seek it out during the day, I want you to raise your hand real high. If you feel like you use it sometimes, but you can do more, great. And if you're like, I don't. So some hands going. Let's do it one more time and keep them there so I can look all the way around her. Yes, all the time. Not so much. All right. So I'm quite literally preaching to the choir here. I'm gonna make you sing. I won't make you sing. All right. So if you don't feel like it doesn't mean you don't have to be funny. Like I said, I'm not a comedian. I think I'm funny. My kids don't think I'm funny, but I do. So I have fun. That's important. But you don't have to be funny. You just have to be able to see funny. That's not my original material, but my dear colleague and friend Karen Buxton's. So one of the things we can do is share humor. I think that's really important. One of the things we can do to keep humor central in our lives or make it more of a focus is finding a humor buddy. So we're all humor beings. Maybe we need a humor buddy when we're feeling low, who we can reach out to and they can cheer us up. It's not always here I go. It's not always about being cheerful, because frankly, sometimes life is not cheerful. This morning, life wasn't super cheerful. I couldn't get the printer to work, and then I got the printer to work, and my husband helped me, and he had to load the printer again. He printed all the stuff. And then I left it on the counter and got halfway here, and I had to call him to come pick it up. There's a quote that says, "Comedy is tragedy plus time." It's attributed to Mark Twain, Carol Burnett, all the funny people. We don't really know who originated it, probably Mark Twain, but comedy equals, did I just forget it? Yes. Comedy equals tragedy plus time. So, now that I'm here with you and sharing what happened, and I'm hearing some laughs and seeing some looks of recognition, oh yeah, that happened to me. Now I've shared my hard thing, and it's become fun. And I've united with you in humor and laughs and smiles. This morning, when I was walking up and down the stairs trying to get the papers to print out, I'm thinking this is not enough time to make comedy out of this. But now that I'm sharing it with you, it is. So one other another thing about using humor in our daily lives is it helps us to reframe things that are hard. So the next thing we're going to do is I have these great, I'm not very good at keeping time. I got my watch here. I got these great cards called Silly Questions. Silly questions that connect. So I'm going to have somebody draw one. And with the people around you, I want you to answer this question. They're silly, they're not meant to be real, there's no real answers. Oh, and they're slipping. There is no wrong in this room. And people online, this is for you too. So let's see. All right, what does it say?
Which two daily activities of living would you weird back to back?
All right. Okay, so here's a question for you to answer with your people at your table or online. You can share your answers in the chat. Which two daily activities of living would be weird if you did them back to back? I'll do my 1 minute timer at kazoo again.
Just backwards. Yeah.
The end. Okay, I want to hear. I don't want to go too far away from the Zoom camera, but if it's a microphone, you'll still be able to hear. I'm sorry. All right, who would like to share?
Awaking and listening.
I like awaking and then sleeping. It would be weird if you did them back to back. Boy, do I wish I could have done that this morning at 4 a.m.
Sometimes.
I could not go back to sleep. All right, what else? Any other volunteers? If you're behind me, you might have to call. Hey, you.
Oh, she's got a good one here.
Over here.
Okay, thank you, Margaret.
Getting dressed, then bathing.
Any more? These are great.
Eating and then cooking.
Oh, I love it. You guys are so much more creative than I am.
I think we had online, we had having dinner while showering.
Oh, having dinner and showering. I have had a drink while showering.
We're drying our hair, and then, oh, we're gonna wash it now.
Drying your hair and then washing it.
Rudy.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, Rudy.
Toileting while eating.
He went there, everybody. Rudy knows that I am absolutely certain, without a doubt, that there are more than one persons in this room who have done that.
Showering and exercising.
Showering and exercising. I can think of some ways that might be fun. Very good. So we're just silly questions. This is a ridiculous question. You would never do those things except maybe going to the bathroom in the evening. Nutrition bar or something. But anyway, but we got out of our heads there. We had to come up with a silly idea or create a silly idea that will help us reframe. Humor is a great reframer of something hard. It's a great reframer of everything. Some other ways that you can use and infuse humor in your daily life. AARP Bulletin, which I happen to have in my handy-dandy Mary Poppins purse, or I did. Maybe I left it on the counter. The AARP bulletin, if you get this, always on the last page they have something. I should have written it down, laughs and life, or life's or laugh or something. There's always something to do in there. If you find that you use humor a lot during a daily basis, you can always do more. So just seek it. If you don't use humor on a daily basis, you can set an intention to use more, to see more, to notice more things. And I find when you make an intention to do something, it happens. So Karen Buxton, who I mentioned before, a humor professional, also talks about yellow cars. Every time she would see a yellow car, she would specifically put it in her head in the morning, I'm going to look for a yellow car. And suddenly, yellow cars everywhere. Look at your yellow top. I mean, you've got a yellow top and a green jacket, yes. Perfect, you're a good demonstration. So I found enough yellow cars that I went, well, now I'm going to look for purple cars. And these days, there's tons of cars that are different colors. Another way to use humor every day or to seek humor are funny socks. I know Mark wears funny socks. Anybody have funny socks on right now? Oh, she raised her hand and then regretted it.
I don't have them on right now.
Oh, okay.
But I have Dr. Schultz sky blue tie-dyed compression socks.
Awesome.
Blue, well, not with my shirt. Anyway, blue and white, yeah, they're from Walmart.
She said that she has blue and white compression socks that are tie-dye. She's wearing a tie-dye top as well. That's wonderful. So you've taken something that may not be that pleasant. I've not learned compression socks. I'm sure my time is coming. But taking something that you have to do and making it fun. Making it funner. I don't think that's a word, but I don't care. It's a word in my vocabulary. Anybody else wearing silly socks they'd like to share? Oh, Cynthia, what do you got?
I always wear the Snoopy socks, so anything in the Snoopy family.
Awesome. I would like to share another story about the silly socks. Is Cindy here? Kathleen?
Fraser, no, she had,
So I don't think she'll mind. So Cindy Fraser and Bud Fraser were choir singers for a long, long time. Our choir continued to meet during the pandemic. We met on Zoom, believe it or not. And we made that work. And in fact, we hardly lost anybody to that experience. We kept everybody singing with us on Zoom. When we met back together, Cindy and Bud began to come again. Well, Bud always had on silly socks. And so when he passed away, Cindy gave Mark a pair of silly socks. Am I getting this right? And Mark always wears silly socks in honor of Bud. We're very sad to have lost Bud. He was a wonderful, I see nods, and we're a wonderful, wonderful person, warm-hearted. But we remember him every week because somebody wears silly socks. So it's a way to remember people too. I think we need to think outside the box and think about how many things humor can help with. And we have 5 more minutes to do it. Kelly is my neighbor. We ran into each other at a swim meet, and I'm like, I think I know you. Cool. All right. We have okay, some other way. Let me take this to the audience again, because like I said, I have been studying humor for several years. I actually don't think I really went through here. I came to study of humor during the pandemic, where because I work with you and singing, we weren't able to do that in person. So I had to look back and kind of reevaluate what I was doing and what I was passionate about and what fed my soul. And so humor and fun kept coming up in every inventory I did. And I kept thinking, well, that's great and all, but it's not, people's mission and commitment and integrity, and of course I love all those things, but when I have the humor and fun, I'm like, what? Okay. But I was encouraged to look into that. So I have been a board certified music therapist for 24 some years, and during the pandemic I discovered or found a group, I didn't found it, but called the Association for Applied and Therapeutic Humor, AATH. And they had a 3-year program, kind of a graduate study program called the Humor Academy. And I enrolled in the Humor Academy and spent 3 years studying humor, and now I'm a certified humor professional. But more important than that, I have used humor my whole life, and I continue to. As I alluded to before, I was up very early this morning. I'm having a really hard time with one of my children who's having a really hard time, and this has shook me to my very core. It has forced me to really understand what I'm telling you to do. Oh, have fun, find humor, yada yada. When I haven't been going through something hard. It's been very hard, and given me the chance to kind of use this for myself too. So I know it works, not only because I've read about it and done the research, but I experience it all the time. So we are almost done, but I wanted to make sure we didn't have, since I'm not the expert, the speaker, but that doesn't always make you an expert. Anybody want to share how they use humor today in their lives to get through something hard? And hard can be the printer's broken and then you leave your printer, you leave your paper at home. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to bare your very soul. Any examples?
I always used to have these little moments when something would, in my conversation with my wife, something would come up that I could twist it a little bit. And she would just break up laughing. It was always a fun game for me to be able to do that. And now that she's about in stage 5, and so things are not as coherent as they ever were. But every once in a while, I can twist something again, and she'll get it, and she'll just break out laughing. It's such a great feeling.
Our theory in our house, I always try to say laugh or cry, some people just laugh or cry, you know, especially my mom was diagnosed last year with frontal dementia. And she's in early stages. But most recently, anything that goes wrong, it's my fault as caregiver. I had to wash her flip-flops and I'd set them outside to dry. And I brought the flip-flop in, gave it to her, and of course, then she lost it. And that was my fault. I didn't give it to her, and we went through that. I was like, we were standing in the kitchen, and I handed you the flip-flop, you walked off with it with your walker, you know, that didn't matter. So her thing was, I left it outside, and the raccoons took it. So, instead of getting, you know, it's easy to get frustrated in that moment, but instead of getting frustrated, I just, you know, made a joke out of it that I had to spend time looking for this flip-flop, and no raccoons were questioned, you know, in the case of the missing flip-flop. And of course found that it had gotten pushed underneath her, you know, nightstand, but she had spent time going outside to look for this flip-flop because she didn't believe me that I gave it to her, you know. So I just try to find the funny. That's what I call it, finding my funnies in the day. If I find myself getting frustrated in a situation, I try to flip, like you said, try to flip it and find some way to laugh about it, you know. And that's...
You flip it or you flop it?
Sometimes I flop it, I gotta admit, yeah.
We could do a whole session of sharing about this, and I want you to share. If something came to your mind, share it with somebody during a break, during lunch. Text your friend. Text your mom, text your dad, text your brother, your sister. Somebody who you don't think is very funny, you can kind of torture them with saying something that you don't think is funny. But we are out of time. And so I want to connect with you. Mark Johnson behind the camera there is my trusty choir assistant. And I'm going to give him a couple pieces of paper with some time slots on it, asking for your information. If you want to talk to me some more about how you can use this more in your life, or if you're a professional caregiver, how you can use this in your community, I'll schedule some times. And then other than that, keep laughing, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, no, because you're hilarious. You're not funny. So I'll tell a funny story about AARP. This is the one that, so I was quoted in the AARP bulletin. Yeah, that's all right. I'm used to the hook. It was quoted in 2022, but it was right in the middle. So I tell people I was the centerfold in 2022. But I'm going to use that transition. So speaking of AARP, Oaks from Senior Planet that is doing our tech support. So another round of applause online. Can you guys give a round of applause to and with that, I'm going to invite up, we do have a break, but before that, I want to invite up Martha Cave with helping our seniors. There's Martha, right there. Perfect, thank you, Martha. One of our wonderful vendors next door.
Thank you, Dianne. Byron and I have known each other for 20 years, 10 years, something like that. So we know each other. We've known each other for quite a while, and I enjoyed knowing him and the things that we've done together. Again, I'm Martha Cave. I'm the administrator of a provider company called Helping Our Seniors. Provider company, that means we are a personal assistance service, or PAS agency. We provide caregivers into people's homes. That could even be a facility wherever they might live to help seniors with activities of daily living and, of course, other activities. I think you might find it interesting to know that we do charge $22 an hour. We're the most affordable agency in town, for one thing. The other thing is a lot of our caregivers have been with us for 8, 10, 12 years. Not many agencies can say that, so we're pretty proud of that. The other thing I'd like to tell you about today is the fact that our caregivers have been studying what dementia is for almost a year now. We realized that they were helping seniors who did have dementia, and they had a lot of questions about what they needed to do to properly care for these individuals and make life better for them. So they have been training very seriously on what dementia is and how to communicate with these individuals. We have caregivers available now who can do that. We're also opening what we have gained in knowledge to other people, if we can share our knowledge with other groups or other family members or anyone like that. We'd certainly like to share it because we believe that this information about dementia needs to be made worldwide. It's been a big secret, as y'all know, y'all here know for some time, and there's a lot to be known about it and people need to know. And I certainly appreciate being able to be with y'all today and to talk with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the work you all do. And now I literally just, your name just left me because you are Esther. Geriatrics, thank you. For non-department, who I know for years, but with the Gonzaga Foundation. Here you go. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther Galindo. I'm one of the community outreach coordinators for the Gonzaga Foundation. The Gonzaga Foundation is the nonprofit organization of the Gonzaga Medical Group. So a little bit about us. We offer programs, activities, special events for seniors over the age of 60. So at our table, feel free to come by and visit. We have a flyer listed with all the programs that we offer, so we can go into detail about kind of each one if you are interested for yourself or somebody that you may know who is in need of assistance with food, hygiene products. We offer a little bit of everything, and if we don't offer it, we also partner with a lot of different organizations in Bexar County that we refer to for seniors who are in need of a product that we don't offer. So we're more than happy to help, and we offer a lot of good programs ourselves, so feel free to stop by our table. Thank you.
The Gonzaga Foundation does fantastic work. I think some of their most important work was the coffee this morning. So, I know, right?